again. Hello, DrayBarrels. We're back once again for another podcast. Hello, Governor.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome to our bosom.
And I love the artwork behind you in your bosom.
Oh yes, well it's only a cardboard box, but it's part of our new kitchen. So different angle this week for me again. Still on the iPad, but we'll have a bit of fun.
Changes. Yeah, it's the same here. I got the angel wings back. Remember those guys?
From Maleficent. And fucking robbed them off her back. But, yeah, they look nice anyway.
Harvested. Yes, yeah. Welcome to another week, and hope you're well, and hope you're all well. DrayBarrels, what are you drinking? Just as we're sapping before we get going.
Just a road beer, just a bud. Wet the whistle. I didn't get in. I had a long day today. I ran like a 12.5-hour day, and just a quick beer. Wet the whistle before we get going. So
yeah, we like to do that, and I just got a Guinness. Just a standard bottle of Guinness. I had always in a pint glass, Mr. A.
Always.
If you're listening, watching.
Not from those fucking micro pumps that we discussed last week. No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
So, yeah, we had that was almost a Guinness special, wasn't it, last week? I have to say. It was very Guinness tinged. But, hey, anyway.
Ting.
Oh, no, it's beer news of the week.
I'll get on with it. It is beer news.
Crack on with it. What news you got for us then?
All right, this actually comes from CNN, and I actually saw it on a few different news websites. It's it's everywhere today, and it actually came out today, so it's fresh off the cuff. And it's like, psychedelic laced beer may have helped this ancient South American empire rule. So it's a bit of history here. So it's actually it's Peru. So it's beer laced with hallucinogenic drugs derived from plant seeds may have helped leaders of the South American culture maintain their political control for hundreds of years. So research or archaeologists have uncovered, which was interesting. And I don't know if you've heard of them, Governor. They were a culture called the Wari. No.
I've heard of Mr. Worry Love, but
not the Wari Love.
Not Worry.
Well, they built an empire and ruled the highlands of what we know now as Peru. And this was like 6,000 to 1,000 AD, and they preceded the Incas. So just before the Incas, it's kind of like everybody's heard.
Is that who? What? So they knew Paddington?
Well, I guess so, because that's his haunt, isn't it? I forget about that.
Deepest Peru, isn't it? He used to have marmalade sandwiches, which could be tinged with some of that stuff that you're on about.
And that's why.
But it's not unusual. It's not unusual for a governing organisation to put something in the beer to control the people. I mean, look at you Americans with your fluoride in the water.
Hey, I have to bloody vinegar the kettle probably every 2 weeks. Well, I did in the old place, but this new place we're on well water, so it's not from the main, so thankfully we're away from all that crap. All that.
You're on a bit of the old is it a borehole or is it a proper well?
Oh yeah, well it was a borehole, so they drilled down and it's pumped. They have a huge water tank and it's pumped, and obviously we have a line to our house and a line to the in-laws, but it has a certain, it kind of smells a little bit more than your conventional water because it's natural, it's from the ground source, but it's so much better. You're not crusting up your kettle with fluoride or calcium buildup, Anyway, we digress.
We did.
Yeah, but they took some excavations, and what they found that the Wari used seeds from a vilca tree and combined it with a hallucinogenic drug to make this beer. So this beer derives from a it's called a chichia or something, or mole tree. So it's interesting, and yeah, I don't know how they find this stuff out. Do they find remnants of like caps and stuff like that? And
They must do, like when that one that we mentioned probably a year ago now, and I was on about the one in Egypt where they found like the toxology of the ground and what was there and all those tests they do, find out what was about. They must have found some sort of beer making stuff.
Yeah,
a load of that.
It's
maybe that's why they pierce all their lips and just walk around naked, because they're all on mushrooms.
I know, but it's crazy how they, you do it on that scale, because it probably was pretty big old empire, I'm guessing. If it's an empire, it's pretty big, So no, that's fascinating to me. So that's great, really all I had. I'd be kind of curious to try.
Well, I can add a caveat to that of beer news before we shut the door on it, which was just over here. Everyone goes on about fucking dry January. Ooh, we had too much to drink over Christmas. Let's not drink in January. And they reckon that there's going to be something phenomenal. Like, hang on, I had it on my phone a second ago. 1 minute. That they're going to be selling, obviously, dry January means that you don't have alcohol. And they reckon that they're going to, in January alone, they're going to be selling 7.8 million pints of low and no alcohol beer.
Shit. Wow.
In this country alone. I don't believe that one bit.
I did it once, but it lasted for like 14 days. I couldn't do the entire month because stuff happens all the time when we go out and stuff like that, and my brother's coming over, so there was no chance this month. But I've been, my good wife mentioned it to me, maybe I should try a couple of non-alcoholic beer reviews this month. I don't know how you feel about it.
I mean, that's how I had in the end. It was a nice drink. It didn't taste like there was no alcohol in it. It was quite pleasant, and that was 0%. So we have to try. We'll maybe do one each one time.
I think so. But maybe
obviously I'm trying to get that Guinness one, but I haven't seen it in the shops. I'm not going to bother ordering it. It'll come in the shops eventually, and obviously we'll do that. But there is quite a lot of non-alcoholic stuff over here. Beer-wise, I can understand it because people like to drink a beer socially at a party and that, but there's so many 0 alcohol spirits over here now, and they cost like £13 a bottle for 0 alcohol gin, and you think, what's the fucking point in that?
That is just stupid to me, because it's basically when you're having a short of gin, it's just a quick gone, and it's mostly to get the buzz and stuff. That's the impression I get. But whereas a pint, it's almost like the motion of having something and holding it and drinking, and it's the entire motion and the social aspect of it, and having something to almost do with your hand in a way. Obviously,
we're at a party like this, and there's people there that are drinking beers, and you might be driving or some other reason, and you can get drawn into it. That's why was such a problem with that driving over here, because people would, just have one, and one leads to two, and then they're over the limit. But some of these alcohol-free beers, I have them when I go and play darts. If it's not close, I'll have 1 pint of alcoholic beer, and then I'll drink the 0% beers, and some of them are nice, some of them are fucking horrible, don't get me wrong.
No.
A bit tinny or metallic tasting, horrible aftertaste, but some of them are really nice. The Heineken one's good, the San Miguel one's good.
Okay, San Miguel. I haven't had that. I had them, and they kind of taste cereally, some of these cheaper ones, but a lot of the craft breweries are doing more non-alcoholic ones as well, like you can vouch for. You did in Advent, but I know Lagunitas, a big brewery over here, does a few. So I'm gonna, maybe before January's out, we should do at least one, right, each,
or maybe just in February, just to buck the trend. Anyway, there's a little bit ties in with that later with my brewery. we're carrying. So we better get a proper pour on.
Get
We better
going,
get
Governor.
go on then. What you got? Have you got to go and get yours?
No, I'm good. You should start because I officially did beer news of the week. So you start.
Oh, okay. Okay. Don't want any emails.
I
Gone through last year.
Mr. P. Lewis.
Yeah,
I
and
hope
he's
you
just-
stick to the script.
Yeah, you're right there. Well, that other guy from Ireland or wherever it was, Hughes, he was particular about something or other. So, yes, okay. And you're getting quite particular yourself. So I shall, as the governor, carry on. And I've got a stout that I bought for the Christmas ones. And, well, in fact, I bought loads. And this is one left over. And I haven't done a stout for a while on the reviews, been sticking to my lagers, as you've seen in the week and last week. So I'm back on the stouts this week, and I've gone with a coconut pastry stout called Nargil from the Buxton Brewery. And there we go. There's the can.
Yeah,
Pretty cool can. It's one of those tactile cans. Like the sticker on it feels nice to hold. Buxton on one side, England on the other. So this is actually from the Peak District. So we're back into Yorkshire territory.
Oh, love. Oh, again.
So here we go. I'll get a pour on. A little sniff. Oh, lovely. That's the smell of a pastry stout. Oh, calm it down. Calm it down, son. There are we? There we are.
Is it strong?
It's a 6%er. Quite.
Okay.
Oh, I'm tripping all over my pajamas.
Oh.
Don't worry, I blame it on the kids.
Naughty. Naughty.
There's no real scent to it other than a stout scent. So I just took a little bit of the head off to get the whole thing in. That's what she said. And here we are.
Love that can. That's a full pint can then? It looked smaller when you showed it earlier, but I can see now it's a full.
Well, what is it? It's a 500, is it? Yeah, that's not a actual pint can. This is just one of the glasses that I've used because more other stuff's in storage at the minute. So here we go. Oh, it's nice. It's very nice.
Sweet.
Smooth, really, really nice flavour to that. Rich,
Extremely dark.
just a lovely stout. A lovely stout. So that's me on my way. I find myself in the middle of Yorkshire again in the Peak District. So where are we heading with you this week, old chap?
We're probably going over the English Channel a little bit from you, over to Belgium. And I have Duval, and it was brought over by our Dutch friend, Yorick, on his trip, and I've saved it all the time.
Nice one, Jorick. Love it.
Look at that. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what that is.
What is that? A lady with a lot of arms or something?
Looks like, right? It's all in Dutch, so I can't tell, but she's like pouring, she's got arms all around her, pouring pints.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's got 7 arms.
But some of those arms are, can you see they're different colour to his suit? So I don't quite, it's almost like she's holding the glass and then there's other, I don't know, strange.
No, that is some strange artwork to put on. It probably just shows that she's a good barmaid. Do many things at once.
Maybe. But Belgium strong. So this is actually a strong golden ale. That's 8.5%. And just for Yorick, I wanted to use Duckworth because it's something special.
I like the bottle before you pour it. I like that little funnel shaped, reverse funnel shaped. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. That's nice, right? And it,
one of your old butt plugs, isn't it?
Or maybe it's one of Yorick's old back plugs.
Yeah, maybe.
A bit homebrew. Oh God. Okay. But it's fizzy, so it's held its own, and you know.
Watch the head on that one. Fuck my old boots. What are you doing?
Bloody hell, I messed that one up. I might have done a governor there. Oh, God.
Governor.
Smells.
Thinking of old Yorick, got a nice thick head on that. Beautiful. What's it smell like?
It kind of smells aged, kind of fermented a little bit. And it almost smells kind of like soury in a way, but it says it's a subtle bitterness beer with distinctive hop character. So yeah, pleasant.
Did you say wrong? What was the percentage? I missed that.
It's 8.5, and I think I read that it was aged as well, and I can't read any of this. It's all in Belgium, so I can't really read it. But
no, is that language? Is it Belgium?
I think so.
What language?
Belgish, or is it Flemish?
Flemish, Emilianish.
Oh, okay. It was in the back of my mind, but I wasn't quite sure. So that's the official language of Belgium, is it? Or is it French?
Well, I think part of maybe French, but yeah, it's Flemish, isn't it? Really. What have you created there?
Look at that.
Jesus Christ. You could use the top of that and have a shave with it.
Oh, no. I want to bloody drink it. I'm going to try.
Hey, the old Duckworth there. In my job, I can't go any further than saying this, but I interviewed Mr. and Mrs. Duckworth in the week. So.
Oh, talk that.
Wasn't Jack or Vera, but you never know.
You know, maybe some kind of relation. Apparently, they were related to the Queen, Jack and Vera. Well, Vera was, wasn't she? But anyway, let me try and. Oh, it kind of tastes fruity from the phone, but I'm going to try and get a taste before you get going on talking yours. But
a Yorick's thickhead tastes fruity. Okay.
Very, very bitter.
Oh, he's got it in his moustache.
Oh, I got it on my nose as well. Creamy.
Like your brother's been at a cream horn again.
God.
I haven't.
What's he saying now? He'll be playing that next week, so don't worry, DrayBarrel, so you'll be on. Yeah, very fruity and very strong, and fruity kind of bitterness, I would say. And it's just, yeah, nice. And you can tell it's been aged as well, but it does taste European. You know, it has that distinctive European kind of bite to it, like some of the lagers do, but that tastes strong. I think these are aged.
That lager I had last night, you know, as I promised last week, I'd do a mini review on the Facts 10%. There's something about when it's a lager and the percentage is higher, makes you go a bit loopy, I think, like the old Stella, the old wife beater. You know?
Well, that's why I kind of commented. You probably saw like, oh, you get a climbing up lamppost, because do you remember once was chased up a lamppost by somebody that had gone, an old friend of ours had gone nuts on Stella, and it just affected him in a crazy way. Do you remember that in university? But yeah, folks, he had been drinking.
What did his name begin with?
I can say his name. He's not listening. It was old Fran, and he was going crazy, and I climbed up a lamppost to get away with it from him because he was going to punch my lights out, as he was saying. I don't think.
Did he? What was that in the first year?
I think it was in the first year. And
horrors.
Oh, maybe no. We were out somewhere, and I don't know if it was down near the bay or the glen or down that way somewhere. Because I remember trying to climb up a lamppost to get away from him. I think Andy was there, but he had been drinking Stella all night, and I think our pal Andy had made some kind of, or the chief as we like to call him. He's said something about
the nonce.
Nonce.
The new nonce.
Said something about, he's there laughing, he's been on the Stella or something like that.
Yeah, fucking hell. I mean, that Stella was only 5.2%, but there seemed to be more bubbles in a Stella than anything else. And people would go nuts on it. I worked in a pub for a bit after university, as you know, where I met my wife, and there was a certain guy that used to come in. He was all right, but he was banned from drinking Stella. You could serve him, but you couldn't serve him Stella because he'd go fucking nuts on it.
Oh shit!
And you've been drinking a lot higher percentage beers in a stout, but it doesn't affect you in the same way that Stella does.
No.
I mean, I drink that Stella, and you do have like periods where you go nuts on it.
Yeah,
it's not that strong anymore. It's only 4 now. They've reduced it.
Oh, okay. Didn't somebody? I thought I read this once, and this is obviously just hearsay and stuff, but I thought it was something to do with the chemicals in it as well. How they brew it with chemicals, and it's the chemicals that affect or send you on an imbalance or some shit like that. Maybe there's some research.
It's a nice pint to have a couple of. But if you carried on with it, the old 5.2, things would happen definitely. But let's get back to the beers in hand because beard off. My coconut pastry stout is called Nargil. Now, Nargil is the Indian word for coconut. So, as I, obviously I knew that.
Because they like coconut curries, don't they, in India?
They sell what?
No, they like coconut curries in India. So it would be called a Nargil curry.
Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Crazy in the old Nargil. You put the lime in the Nargil. That was a big popular song over in the 70s over there.
Oh, yes.
Mix them both up. You put lime coconut. See me in the morning. Anyway, this, like I said, it's in the heart of the Peak District. It's not very far away from Bakewell, which I've reviewed before with various
That's
beers.
In Derby, right?
It's above Derby, between Sheffield, Peak District, bang in the centre of England, really. And it's there. They've got a big tap room there, which is actually in the town, which is called the Old Courthouse Tap, which does all their beers. They do tours usually, but at the moment they're postponed because of motherfucking Omicron. So they're not doing tours at the moment, but you can go to the brewery usually. Got a big shop there. Started in 2009, so been going quite a while.
Oh yeah.
Usual story with these things that it started off just a few litres in a back garage somewhere, and it's come from that. So their little thing is, obviously they make beers, they like making beers, but the beers that they make are nurtured by a small team of dedicated beer lovers. So they want things to taste nice, that they like, and other people to enjoy. And a really cool thing, we spoke about this privately with another friend of ours, but there's that thing over here called 3 words. I understand it's worldwide, where if you get lost or if you want to find anything, you use that website called 3 words. You type in 3 words and it will come up with a 3-meter square that is named after those 3 words. So like if you were out on a mountain somewhere and you fell down and hurt yourself, you could give coordinates, of course you could, or you could say you was on a mountain, but if you had your app open, it would tell you 3 words where you are, 3 meters, and the emergency services could go right there. Oh. So their 3 words for their brewery, which is right outside the front door, is when, forever, brew.
Oh,
which is pretty cool.
So that is specific to their spot. That's great, actually. I like that. When, forever, brew. So I could make up a word for this room.
Well, I don't know if they paid for that to be changed, because it's very convenient. It's got brew in it and it's right in a fucking brewery. But usually just 3 random words like kitchen, apple, monkey, something like that, and that would be like my address outside my front door.
Right.
And it directs you within 3 meters of whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
It's great for people, emergency services, especially somewhere such as the Peak District, where people might twist their ankle or get into trouble out on a trail somewhere or on a mountainside. They can fucking use it. It's easier than trying to give coordinates, just 3 words. I'm sure it must be in America as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. It must be an app. I know we've talked about it before, but that's kind of coming all back to me now. But that's kind of cool. I'm just curious. It's just crazy that you could have that for the entire world, though. So I don't know if it's like, you know.
I don't know if it is.
Oh, it's just.
I mean, that is insane if you could. But I don't know too much about it. I thought that it pretty much is the entire planet.
Yeah, is there?
It's only been grid over it, isn't it? And then just it generates 3 random words that don't match any others.
You can have some issues in Antarctica, aren't you? Looking for descriptions of different.
But then you got issues when it goes from something like, obviously English and American English are the same language ultimately, but Russian is fucking vastly different. And so is Chinese. You know, go over there. What's it going to be? How's it going to show up?
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, that'd be something. But I'm
glad you're sat down, because I feel that you may have fallen over if I told you standing up. So I'm glad about that.
I wonder if it's one of those things where they had to pay for that, you know, just to get those exclusive.
Yeah, I think so. I think they have, yeah.
I think, and you know, it's like number plates, how personalized they are, and how you have to pay so much. I think it's a bit cheaper over here. I know it used to be pretty expensive in the UK to get your own personalized number plate. I know my granddad had GDL for his, and I think he paid a lot, but I think it's a lot cheaper here, and I see them everywhere. Maybe it's come down in price over the years, but
what was GDL standing for? Granddad Lloyd.
George Donald Lloyd, or Don Lloyd.
What the fuck? What was his middle name?
Dan Donald.
I've never heard. I've obviously heard of Donald, but not Dun.
D-U-N. Donald. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. That's interesting. Maybe I need to do some family research.
If he McDonald's. Oh, I love that.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't like that. He was a proud Englishman.
People shout, Don Donald, where's your trousers?
It's definitely Scottish, though, isn't it? Dan Donald.
Gotta be Scottish.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it's a middle name. It's not a surname, is it?
No, because the surname was ultimately, Lloyd is originally Welsh, you know, at some point down the line. So the family would have come from.
Well, it's a double L, isn't it? It's double L, or is it double D?
Double L.
Exactly. So it's proper Welsh because it's Clyde.
If it's proper Welsh, it would be Lloyd. L-W-Y-D. Lloyd, like the Mary Lloyd, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd.
That's why I'm so disappointed that your middle name's Simon. It should be Cledwin, shouldn't it? Or something like that.
Blodwyn
or Cledwin. Blodwins.
That one, I used to work with a guy and he was called Selwyn. And I always thought he was Welsh. You've heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of Selwyn, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was Welsh for some reason, but he wasn't Welsh in any way. But that was his name, was Selwyn, which I thought was unusual for an Englishman. But am I wrong there? Is it an English name, Selwyn? It just sounds.
It sounds Welsh because of the wind part, isn't it?
Probably.
The wind. Like the Wyndham.
Oh, yeah. And
let's have a bit about your.
I was going to say there's Wyndham hotels over here as well.
Your old David Duval, or.
Oh yeah, so Duval, and actually the brewery is actually called Duval Mortgat, and it all began by a gentleman. Oh, this is where that came from. Jean Leonard Morgat and his wife founded Morgat Brewery Farm in 1871. It's pretty old. Chalk that up. So, and around the turn of the century, Morgat was one of over 3,000 breweries operating in Belgium. Can you believe that? That's crazy to me. 3,000 breweries. And it's...
Well, aside from beer at the moment, I heard on the radio that in England, well, Britain alone, there are 870 gin distilleries,
What?
which blew my mind.
That is.
Yeah.
I only know
870. I mean, what the fuck? Who's in town? Fagin and Bill Sykes? Who the fuck is drinking that amount of gin? It's very popular again, don't get me wrong, and I do have a gin from time to time, but that is a lot of breweries on top, well, or distilleries rather, on top of your popular ones such as Gordon's, London, and all that type of gin.
Yeah.
A lot of gin to be drunk.
That is just insane. And that's only, most people would predominantly buy Gordon's gin, I would say. Where's the rest of the fucking 799 going? You know?
Well, I mean, we've had a lot. I mean, you sent my wife a bottle of gin back along, and she, you know, we do drink gin. Like, probably do drink a bottle of gin a month, but that is a hell of a lot of gin.
You know, I will say this, and me and the coach were talking about it when he wanted to come to London.
What's he saying?
What's he saying now? But it may end up being me and Steve now, because for 2023. But I wanted to take him, and I researched it, of doing a gin tavern tour of London, because there's a tour you can do, or you can just follow the tour on your own, you know. But there's a bunch of gin taverns still in operation.
Hey, Marcus, I love that gin.
I think that was before we really got into the craft beers. We were talking about that. So now I don't almost would say it wouldn't happen now. We'd be more focused on the brewery tours, you know, not the gin taverns. But it kind of shows. I mean, there's obviously a big market for that. And
I mean, it's expensive over here in London to drink beer. If you're going on a fucking gin one, God, you got the money with you.
I know. So I think that's going to go by and by, and we'll just focus on the breweries when we do that. But that just blew my mind. 3,000 breweries, and this is going back at the turn of the century. So, there's a question. Was it this century gone or the previous century? It doesn't say.
No, 2 centuries ago, isn't it?
Yeah. I guess it was talking about, I guess, the 1918s to. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Did they make that beer after Robert Duval? I said David Duval earlier, but I got him mixed up with David Duchovny, and I don't need to talk about him. But did they name it after Robert Duval?
Is that his surname? Is it with an E-L, Duval, or is it an A-L? Robert Duval. I'm trying to. Do you know it was his birthday the other day? They read it out on Radio 2. It's Robert Duval's birthday, they were saying.
Was that a popular station in America? Is it Radio 2?
No, just in my car.
You're xenophobic to the country you live in. Absolutely disgraceful.
You know what? That kind of brings up a point, because my wife said.
I see your son. He's out in the countryside now. I see him every time. Put up pictures. I see little videos of him. It warms my heart. He's got a lovely pair of cowboy boots on. He's embracing it. He's loving it. And there's you listening to Radio 2. You should be in a fucking break. Yeah. Oh my God, I've got the same ones. I got them. Yes. Have they got backs on them? Oh my Christ. Very, very similar.
Very similar. Slightly.
I don't know what they are at a minute. They must be upstairs.
But no, it's a good point, because my wife said my friend who lives over here, he's from Bournemouth, Ben, and he just got his American citizenship this week. So celebratory, and I swear he said he wasn't going to do it. And my wife said, "Are you going to do that?" No. And then she said, "Oh, do you even like America?" And I said, "It's all right. It's all right." Oh. Do you show any enthusiasm for the beautiful country you're living in? These wonderful sights. Have you? Look, it's marvelous. I gotta be honest, but I need to show.
You remind me of Dom Jolly when he goes to the Taj Mahal and the Eiffel Tower and he stands there looking at it, and then he just turns to the normal tourists around him, points at whatever he stood in front of, and says, "This is that." Sorry, he says, "That is shit." You've seen that one. That's how you remind me.
Oh, bloody hell! Yeah, I'll take my brother. He's coming over next week up to the hill country or down to the Alamo, and he'd be like, "Oh, it's amazing! Look at it! Oh wow!" It's all right. I've seen that. Oh, I've done that. Let's move on. No, it's beautiful, and yeah, I should show more enthusiasm for America.
I would be over there fucking line dancing my way every single night. Boom. I met someone the other day who was a competitive line dancer in Britain in her heyday. Older now, in her 80s, but yeah, she used to go all round doing line dancing.
I was an Uncle Bryn and Nessa. No. No,
they're still, but no, it was.
Oh wow!
It was nice to hear. It brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, that's beautiful, and that's down in Devon.
Oh, she's a total cripple now. Absolutely.
Yeah, but did it? Back in the day.
Overdid it.
I've done it. I actually we'll talk to the coach about it, but I actually did my first line dance at the coach's wedding when he got married, when he had that peanut butter stout that we talked about.
What, did he have an organised line dance, did he?
There was certain songs, it was a proper disco, like a wedding does, but certain songs, and quite a few songs came on, and it was more country, I guess, and everybody was up there doing this, and I had to kind of follow them, and it was just...
I wish I'd known him back then. I loved that. Oh well, if he renews his vows, I'll be right up the front.
Yeah, we'll let him know. But that's the only line dance I've ever done, and I've never done it any time. But maybe I should take Bumble on a line dance or something, or to a honky tonk, right? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just for
right where they throw sawdust on the floor. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, we'll try and do that.
Doing the double shot.
Yeah, they got long horn cows. We're gonna get him sat on one of those as well. There's a little village that they, and get him in a cowboy hat and get a photo.
Oh God, fucking moon-faced gypsy. Anyway, let's have some beers from the old Duval.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few on these, as you know, it's a very old brewery. They have an extensive list. I couldn't find any stouts or porters. So they obviously specialize more in the lighter beers, So they have it's called a Vedette Extra White, which is a wheat beer. They do a Vedette, that seems to be a running theme, Extraordinary IPA. So if you like your IPAs, they have one of those, and that's only a 5.5%. And one last one from them is a Vedette again, Extra Pilsner, Extra Blonde, and that's a lager pale. So there's a couple of beers.
Yeah, well, my one, the old Buxton Brewery, they do quite a few beers. A lot of them are similar thing to yours. They stick with one name and then add a thing to it. So they do a lot on the Axe range, and one of them is an Axe Edge IPA. They do a Rain Shadow Imperial Stout, which looks a treat, very, very dark can. Ooh. And then they do an Omni Polo Lemon Sorbet Cream. I think it's a shake or something like that. But I've got the raspberry one in the fridge here, and I was thinking about maybe doing 2 tonight, but I'll do that one in the week maybe.
Okay.
But then they've got, now this is where we go circular again. We're talking about Dry January. They've taken it and they've got a pack that you can have delivered to your home of the different beers. They do like a selection pack, and it's called Trianuary.
Trianuary. So it's like it's a non-alcoholic, but okay.
No, it's not now non-alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
Instead of dry, it's like Trianuary. Yeah, Trianuary. You're right. You said it right. Mixed pack of beers which you can try to buck the trend. Why should we drink 0%? Why should we not?
Right.
I understand people bit. I'm trying to get back into my running again. I've been running quite a bit, not built up the miles too much, but everyone does try and get fit after Christmas. I get that. There's no need to give up the good stuff. There is no need.
In moderation, right? Just do it in moderation. Yeah.
Give up fucking crisps and the sweeties.
Here you go.
Go for a walk. And at the end of a walk, enjoy a nice pint.
Exactly. A little reward.
The pubs and breweries over here have suffered enough with bloody COVID, and the Christmas over here wasn't as good as we thought because of the Omicron and all that. So still support them. Go for a Sunday walk, go for a little run, and at the end of it, reward yourself with a pint.
Yeah, you got to think about this. If you're a beer lover, and you are, if you're listening to us, then you can cut out things like sweeties, things like crisps, and just have the, or what are you going to do? Just stuff crisps and give up the alcohol for a month? No, just cut those little elements out if you love your beer.
Or just cut down your beer intake. You don't have to give it up altogether. And if you're a raging alcoholic and realise you're drinking a bottle of wine or 6 beers a night, just cut it down to a couple of beers a night. Limit yourself. And if you can't limit yourself, you had a problem.
Yeah, and you know you know me well enough, Governor, and I've been doing a lot of binge drinking over the last few years and just excessively, but I'm working on that myself. And I just had a few this Saturday, and I haven't drunk since then until today. But the Saturday just gone, I just had a couple of we watched a bit of Harry Potter on the TV, and I just a couple of nice tasty beers. That was it, 2 tasty beers, and
it's only to think yourself to a stupor. I don't remember when I was being stupidly drunk.
No, I haven't.
I can't remember when I've been stupidly drunk for a long while, or just been completely messed up on it, binge drinking. I don't do it anymore. I do every now and then, but I still remember what has happened.
Yeah.
If I'd have had another one of those faxes the other night, I did put it in the fucking hashtags at the end. I'm not sure where I'm going to be tomorrow morning, but that's the type of thing that would send Fran. He would climb up the fucking post after.
I thought you would have been rolling up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire yesterday after that fax.
It was. I like the fax lager, the 5%, but that one, it had such then I described it as like a vodka-y taste, and obviously it's the alcohol, but it's like a pang at the back of your throat afterwards. And if you was on a night out, you wouldn't want to drink that all night.
No,
but you couldn't. After 4 pints of that, you'd be fucking anyone's.
No, absolutely.
We don't want to go down that route again, do we, Ref?
I'd rather not. But I'm debating.
It was a different time, a different land, a different country. You don't understand. We didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have internet. And I was cold, very cold.
God. I might get my brother to bring a couple of Carlins over for me in the bottle. Obviously, he can't bring the can, but he could wrap up a couple of Carlin Black Labels, right? Can you get it?
He won't remember.
No, I know.
I'm not sure you can get it in a bottle that easy.
Well, that's what I thought. I've never really. I think I saw them in bottles once, but that was a long time ago. And I think it's predominantly cans, and obviously you can't get them over here. And I've talked about that before, Carlin. But I just wondered if you could. Something to think about.
Getting canned.
Anyway,
we
okay.
The beer that I've had, I'm going to review before we go into the dreg. Or should we dreg it first? I know that you're a stickler for the order.
Well, no, we always give our scores at the end, right?
Okay, right. My dreg then.
Oh, hang on. Blimey, Governor. Cold blimey, Governor.
Oh, it's Drags of the Week.
There he is. I had to prompt him somehow. Yes, my thing is deliberately shite reviews of things. I like to read reviews. If at all, I like to read them after I've seen something, because I like to see something with my own eyes and think what I want to think about it before someone else. Now, we review these beers and it's just what we think. We're no experts. And it's a suggestion, Buxton Brewery, I suggest you try this beer if you like stouts.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it down or anyway. Now, I watched a film on Netflix, which over 180 million people worldwide have watched. Don't Look Up. Now, that got shit reviews. It got shit to middling reviews. They just didn't give it the time of day. I didn't read none of those reviews. I watched it for what it was, and I thought it was a piece of genius. I thought it was so on the button. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. Who's in it and what's it about?
It's about a big comet that they discover is going to hit the Earth.
Oh, I did read that. Yeah.
It's tongue in cheek, but it is an absolute. What's the word? It's DiCaprio's in it. You got DiCaprio. You got.
Lawrence Bowen.
Chamalay is in it. The new kid that everyone's raving about. Chamalay.
Oh,
you got Jennifer from the Hunger Games. That girl.
Yeah, I know her. Lawrence.
You got Lawrence in it. You got Streep is in it. It's a stellar cast. Stellar cast.
Oh, brilliant.
This comet's going to hit the Earth, and they know it's going to hit with 99% certainty, and it's going to hit in 6 months' time. And what happens? I'm not going to spoil it for people. What happens? And it is an absolute pastiche of what society is at the moment. How things get spun by people that are in government, how things get twisted by other people, and what's true. And I just thought it was genius on so many levels. And people packed it. And if you're one of these people that only watch things because of reviews, because of what other people think, I think that's shit. I think you should give anything a go.
I sometimes read reviews and my wife said, don't worry about reviews, just take it for what it is. I've taken that on board. Yeah.
You've got to watch something and then read the reviews after. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's just someone else's opinion or something. But it got not panned, but it didn't have the best reviews, nothing more than middling. And I thought it was much better. It wasn't trying to be anything more than it was, and I thought it was really, really clever. And there were some good messages in it. It's funny as well. Parts of it are really funny. So that's my suggestion. Don't listen to shit reviewers that really pretend they're worthy and, you don't know what you're watching and things like that. You don't know what you're drinking. We're not like that. We just say it how we think. We don't tell people what to do. But Don't Look Up is a brilliant film, and I suggest that watch it.
That's the same, and I get so angry because people.
Rylance, the BFG. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, Mark Rylance. I like him. He's a great actor. I've seen him in a few things, and I think he's just a wonderful actor.
Tip top in Dunkirk. Chalk it up.
That's what I was thinking of. That's a brilliant movie as well. And that kind of going back to that point, I hate it when people always slate the Hobbit movies. Oh, they're terrible compared to Lord of the Rings. Well, they may not be as bad, but I love those Hobbit movies. And my son he prefers them to the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit movies, because it's a children's book. And I sometimes say to people, well, have you read the book? It's meant to be a bit more like that, I think they're wonderful, but the critics pan those movies, all the time. And it just makes me mad.
The only thing that I watch it is because I just couldn't believe they made 3 films out of such a thin book. I just can't be asked. It's just too long. I know. I watched the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Lords of the Rings. And I watched the first one with you. And when I discovered Harry Potter wasn't in it, thought, what's going on here? So I read the book, and then I read all the other books before the second one came out. And then obviously when the third one came out, I knew everything that was going on, and I really enjoyed it. But The Hobbit, I just couldn't be bothered to watch 3 films. If they made one film, I would have watched it. I can't be asked.
I mean,
not because it's can't be bothered.
But I know I get you, and I almost do feel like they're drawn out. But me and my son have so much fun, and we just sit down and watch them all the way through, and just thoroughly and it's a bit more light-hearted than The Hobbit. Sorry, The Lord of the Rings, obviously, and I think that's why they pan it a little bit, and it is stretched out a bit. But hey, what the heck? Like you said, don't listen to.
How can you enjoy it though? Because at the end, the dragon gets done for, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Isn't that a symbol of your country?
Oh, that's true. But it was like a green dragon. It wasn't a red dragon. So it could be like there's a lot of dragons in England and Scotland and Europe, and yeah, I liked old Smaug, the dragon, but yeah, it was kind of sad, I suppose.
The desolation of Smaug.
Desolation of Smaug.
Oh, copper with all these fucking coins.
Talking every penny, watching every penny. Oh, copper pot.
Okay. Before you start waffling on about bits.
Okay.
Your second breakfasts and whatnot. Let's have a little go at your drag here. What's happening?
11sies. Sorry, yeah. I think my drag is my son this week. I went to school and to pick him up, and he's covered in blood. What the fuck? And screaming and shit like that. He got whacked in the face by a baseball bat.
Fucking hell, what is up with this kid?
He's crazy. And he was fine, but it was an accident. The kids were playing baseball, and it was only a plastic one. He just had a little swollen lip and stuff. But my drag is like that where they are, there's not enough teachers to patrol the yards, and there's loads of kids outside in playtime and stuff like that. And how the heck do you police so many kids, running around playing games and stuff? When I was in school, there were teachers everywhere keeping an eye on you, and they grab you by the ear.
It weren't just teachers. You also had, I remember dinner ladies at my school that were ultimately just mums coming in for like £2 an hour to stand and make sure kids didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
And some of them were fucking evil bitches. There's no two ways about it. They enjoyed their hour of discipline, and they were more fearsome than some of the teachers.
Yeah, in their big aprons, long aprons.
It's so funny you've brought that up, because my youngest daughter goes to preschool, and she went today. She goes for 6 hours today, and then Thursday and Friday. She went today, and they said, when my wife went and picked her up earlier, your daughter said she's been very, very good today, except for one thing. And she said, and my wife went, well, what's happened? They went, she completely filled the whole of the sink up with sand. Now, we don't like that, do we, Sable? And Sable's standing there like that. So my wife just said, well, how did she manage to do that? What were you doing? How comes you didn't notice that a 4-year-old child is filled the whole sink up with sand? What the fuck were you up to? And
that's a lot of sand.
Yeah, that's a lot of cups of sand there. And of course, I was right on the back foot then. They were like, I think a few children were involved. Bollocks.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was having a crafty ciggy, weren't they?
Around the back, wouldn't it? By the bikes.
It was all fucking sharing a can of facts. But no, I know what you mean. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, and your son, if someone's going to be hit by a bat, even a comet or anything,
football,
it'd be your son.
I know.
Your new door worries me. It's half glass.
When the wrestling starts, my Uncle Snappy's here next week. There's going to be all kinds of antics going on. I can see somebody getting thrown through the glass. in a wrestling match, Hulk Hogan style.
With a Hulkamania with a bumble splash.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm with you. I'm with you there.
No, it just like it boggles my mind because like when we were kids, there were so many more like the dinner ladies policing the yard at lunchtime, and now I don't know. I mean, yeah, it just boggles my mind. But there we go.
Did the teachers put a spin on it and say, "Oh, we have to just say something about your son. He headbutted one of our baseball bats. He face planted a moving bat."
Well, they kept saying, "Oh, it was an accident. It was an accident," you know. But then the nurse, because they still have nurses, she was like, "Oh," and he was screaming, and she went, "Oh, he may need a stitch," and then suddenly, it's like, did you have to say that? You know, please. He's already crazy.
He's all right, though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, it's just a swollen lip. I rushed him over to the dentist just to check, and everything was fine. I'm just glad it was a plastic.
You want to go to one of those 24/7 dental places? I've heard they are tip top.
And I think we may have a coaching connection over at those places as well. So there you go.
And a mother, maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's two legitimate dregs for once. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what's your rating, Governor? Because we're getting down to
Well,
the
look
line.
at that. Look right down. I've nearly stopped it. So,
yeah.
Buxton, I've enjoyed this. The old Nargil. 8.5.
Okay, tap. Lovely. Duval, Robert Duval. Cheers, Yorick.
Cheers, Joel.
Yorick, I should say. That is going to be a 9. It was delicious. It was fruity, tasty. 9.
Oh, fair play to you. High scores indeed. A couple of good beers.
Couple of good beers. Yeah, and I guess we'll bid you ta-ta.
We will do. We'll see you soon, DrayBarrels. Alice Class.
Alice Class.